You can take that heel and catch the heel right on the inside of their leg here. Watch what happens. They buckle. Notice which way his head turned. If he's reaching in and grabbing at me here, and I bring my hand down in this position here and pop him on the side of the neck, it's very, very easy. Right on the edge of the neck here, right at the articulation of the jaw is a pressure point. If I use that little knuckle of mine and I just lightly tap, and you got to be careful when you do this, because if they have their jaw open, you can dislocate the jaw. But just a little tap takes the person out very, very easily, very, very gently. Thank you. This kick on the inside of the leg, if they're standing in front of you, you can kick it this way, but by the same token, I could do like a front kick here and kick there and come across to the front side of the head and turn them and use, again, that knuckle and a strike and get a good buzzing technique. The last technique is here. If somebody grabs you, you can roll them and punch to a pressure point down on the side. If they're taller, if they're a little bit taller and pull them down, you can hit with a punch right on the side of the neck. And again, take them out. So you can go through the entire form, thanks. The entire form and have some kind of application or some meaning to the technique. Something in there that's going to give you a real self-defense technique. Each movement in a form has a real, honest-to-God meaning about something to do to hurt somebody. Even techniques that look like this, that you're blocking somebody, you're actually striking. We're talking about this technique here. That this is a block against a punch, or it might be a strike to the head and the neck. Which hand am I striking with? The head or the neck? The extended hand. I'm going to offer you an alternative explanation. I'm going to be hitting the neck with this hand. How's your hands go?
I think blocking.
Your hand comes back like this. Your hands come out here together in it. See, in some styles they do. They cross like that, though, don't they? Oh. So if your hands cross like here, could there be a technique right here?
Let me show you. This is fun.
If my hands are going like this, as I do the knife hand strike, I could be glancing off the front of his head and striking back here and getting that pullback like that. Isn't this fun? With a knife hand block, you can use the side of your hand, chop along the sternocleidoid muscle, right on the baroreceptor, and palm on the forehead, so that you're getting this action out of the knife hand. So if you're in here, letting down, there. You can get a good knockout by just this portion of the technique. By the same token, though, you can do the same type of technique if, for example, here, Jim, let me use you. There's a pressure point right along between the brachioradialis, right on the edge of that. If I press in on that, you're going to get some pain if I use the tip of the thumb. If I strike it down and in at a 45-degree angle, the knees buckle, this hand goes back, the head comes forward, and the chin turns to the side. So, if I grab there and strike here, I get a nice reaction. By the same token, if he's punching on the arm like this and striking, I can strike the pressure point at the wrist with the back of my hand and also with the arm at the same time. Let's try it here. Punch. get a knockout. 1 pressure point, 2 pressure point, 3 pressure point. With the right angle and direction, you can cause a knockout on the arm. When you hit that pressure point on the arm, if you make your hand like this, thumb straight out, little finger out and curl a little bit, you can hit with the knife edge portion of your hand and the meaty portion of your thumb. So if I'm grabbing the wrist and laying my hand across that point on the arm, I am dead on both pressure points. Now, if he's throwing a punch in at me, I can hit on the arm and strike on the arm at the same time. And what does that look like? Same thing. So if that hand comes in, there, you can get a knockout on the arm. If you bring your hands back like this, like a lot of karate styles do before they do the knife hand block, if the person comes in with a punch or a grab, this hand can come to the side and grab and strike on the back side of the neck here on that pressure point. So the hand comes in. You okay? And very gently get that beginning knockout. But this explanation here of the hand coming in on the side of the neck, striking in here and striking on those pressure points, for that section of the knife hand block makes a whole lot more sense to me than he's throwing a punch and I bring my hand back here to gain power and momentum, and then I strike the arm. Wait a minute now. Punch slowly. And I want to come back here. Wait a minute. Now, when I see you punch, I've got to bring my hands back here to get power to block your punch. So you punch, I bring my hands back here, and then I try and get my... No, you're slow. Bring it a little bit faster. You're not going to make it. It's not going to work. Which makes more sense. You're getting close where a fight's going to occur, and you just come right across with that. That makes more sense to me. Yes,
When you're hitting the top corner of his head and his neck, are you crossing side to side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, which is dangerous.
Well, I'm not guessing. I just wondered that.
It is dangerous, yes. That's across the sides. Yeah. That's why the form goes like this, because it is dangerous.
And they want it to.
And they want it to be. Yes, absolutely. I get in a real fight, you daggone right I want it to be dangerous.
You're doing this?
I'm doing this like the kata, this like the form does. But I'm only using a small portion of it, you see. I'm not using all of this back here. If I use this portion of the kata, then I can do this. If he's coming in with the hand, and I bring my hand back, then I can get this kind of a knockout. You there? Pressure points can be extremely dangerous. They can be very, very violent. But that gives you the whole secret to the movements in karate. That tells you the angle, the direction, and the way to go with the technique. If the movement does not look like the movement in the form, it is not, in my opinion, a good explanation for the self-defense technique. It has to follow along, form and function. They're one and the same. You want to be able to build conditioned reflexes so that if a person attacks you in a certain way, you're able to respond with a certain kata or a movement out of a kata. People used to practice 1 or 2 katas their entire lifetime. They would not practice 15, 20, or 30 katas. They would do 1 or 2, and that would be it all of their life. As Americans, we get bored if we only have 1 kata to do. It's because we don't study it. We don't go into enough depth. You need to work your forms, going in depth. Concentrate about what they are. Think about the self-defense applications you can get out of them and work with them. Have fun with the techniques. shoulders up from the ankle bone, the pressure point, right here, right at the edge of the bone, is a good pressure point. If, give me your foot. Now don't put your hands on it. Just catch it with balls. If you use the palm of your hand and strike that pressure point, here, you can take the person down real easy with that. Okay? That's a technique I've been working on, and I'm real close to getting a knockout with that. If you get that foot right in here and use palm right into here, don't hold on to that. I don't like that. That really hurts your hand. Okay, if you do this movement, piano 1, return, come down, and punch. A lot of people tell you that you're punching somebody in the solar plexus. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He's smaller than me, but he's a lot firmer than I am. A little paunchy. If I try and hit him in the solar plexus with my fingertips, I lose. If, however, he's choke me, and I grab his hand and press on a pressure point, what's that look like? Exactly like the form. So now he chokes. I press the pressure point, grab the fingers, rotate over, grab his arm, pull down. My hand now comes back to my waist, and I turn and do a down block. Then I step forward with that, and I punch. Remember that hard point back here? If I lightly tap that, that hurts, and your fingers go numb. Which makes more sense? You're punching somebody in the solar plexus, or you're pushing, getting their attention, grabbing the fingers, locking them down, turning, and then stepping forward with a punch. Right behind the leg here is a pressure point. If you grab the pressure points right at the ankle, and again use the cupping of the hand, strike it back and forward to it at 45. And turning around just a little so you watch his face. Right. So you're coming in here and strike.